Hello and good morning, everyone. I hope you all are fit and healthy and you are taking all precautions from the virus. Welcome back to English with Aisha Siddiqui. Today we are doing a topic of second year BA students, wherein we are doing special English. And I'm referring to this book, and we are on page number 34, where we have already finished Epic on page number 34 and various topics from the theory of poetry. For the ones who have not seen my videos on this topic, please go back to the channel and watch all my videos so that you all will get um, everything about what we've done till now in the theory of poetry. Today's topic will be lyrical poetry, and it is a very unique type of poetry that we're going to do. A very small and short topic, actually. So we will quickly start. What is lyrical poetry? I hope you all can see the screen here, and the topic is lyrical poetry. This kind of poetry is direct record of personal experience and feelings of the poet. So it's not done by someone else, or maybe not done by a person who is I mean, the people who write storytellers to storytellers, as in epic stories, it's mostly the folk stories are told by someone to someone, and therefore it is remembered. But this kind of poetry is a very direct record, as the recordings are there of personal experience from the people. The poet speaks in his own voice about his own life. Let's see the different kinds of lyrical poetry. It's lyrics, sonnets, odes, and elegy. There are four kinds of lyrical poetry, and all these four kinds are written on the poet's life itself. He is talking about his own life and not experiencing or not talking about someone else's life, or some other character is not being displayed. It is his own life. He is the main character of the story. So whoever writes like a biography or an autobiography, wherein he describes his own life events about him, about his family, about his ups and downs, positives and negatives. That is known as a lyrical poetry, where the lyrics are on your own life. There are four types of poetries: lyrics, sonnets, odes, and elegy. All are written on the poet's in the poet's own voice. They are very short poems on any topic or subject that record an outburst of feelings inspired by something immediate. So, what are lyrical poetries? It's an outburst of feelings. Sometimes it happens, right? When we are very sad and emotional, we tend to sit alone and think of the thing. Start thinking about things that can be done in future, or maybe if I did not do it in the past, or why this is happening, right? All these emotions are compiled together, and then we write it on a paper, something where we just allow our emotions to flow. So it does not have a specific rhyme scheme or something, but it has a very emotional touch because it's written about a real and natural event that is happening in the poet's life. Lyrics don't have a specific structure, so there's no structure, no hard and fast rule like this has to be, because a person is actually trying to say or trying to remove out his emotions. So we cannot give him this rule and that rule that you have to apply. Whenever a person is just talking about his emotions, he does not care what type of language he's speaking, how he's speaking, the tone, the mood, nothing. He's just talking about whatever he feels. So there's no specific structure. There is no spontaneity of emotions expressed. It can be high, it can be very emotional, it can be normal emotional. Does not depend or does not have any hard and fast rules. Now let's see sonnets, for example. They are a type of lyrical poetry but are written in a very specific form. So some have to be in specific forms and some are just free. Sonnets are a 14 line iambic pentameter that discuss one idea. That means in one verse there has to be 5 lines, and there in total there have to be 14 lines of the sonnet, and it discusses only about one event or idea. What do you mean by an iambic pentameter? I've also discussed in my previous video a brief discussion about all of this stress and everything. So y'all can go back to the previous video if y'all have not seen. A line of verse that has 5 syllables, unstressed syllables followed by stressed syllables. Now, odes are lyrical poetries with irregular meter. Now, here there's no specific measurements or regular meters that has been described, but it is a very special event when odes are written. Let's see, Elegy. It is a lyrical poem that laminates the death of someone. So, Elegy is a death song actually. So, if you have watched the series, a very great series of GOT, that is Game of Thrones, well, you can see Elegy that is in a song form. They keep on singing that, and who are you, the god? The proud Lord said that I must bow so low. So it's an elegy where a death song is written when there is the red wedding going on, when everyone is killed in the family, when they've just come for a marriage. So in that scene, everyone is dead, and the mother, father, everyone dies. The brother also dies. So that is known as an elegy because the death. It's written at the death moment of someone, and it's a death song. So now let's see the kinds of elegy here. Plain elegy and pastoral elegy. Now, what's a plain elegy? It is a poem that expresses feelings of grief on the death of someone. For example, Ben Johnson's On My Son. It's an example of death. So, and what is pastoral elegies? Now, in elegies, there are two kinds. So, it is also a lament, but in fiction. The poem describes the life of the dead person as a shepherd or a shepherdess and the country life. Example, Shelley's. So you can see this example, wherein in the pastoral, the pastoral elegy, the whole life of the dead person is shown, how he was, all his great deeds, what all he did, how he was with people, his family life, and all. And therefore, his death scene is also described in the poetry. So I hope you all understood the difference between plain elegy and pastoral elegy. So, and also you all got to know what is elegy, what are the different types of elegies, sonnets, odes, and lyrics, sonnets, odes, and elegy, lyrical poetries. So I hope you all understood what are lyrical poetries. It was a very short topic wherein lyrical poetry was shown. If I read this passage of lyrical poetry here also very shortly it is explained. A lyric is a short poem in which a single narrator speaks about his own experiences and expresses his state of mind, or even to convey to the reader the process through which the narrator expresses. Now, the narrator in a lyrical poetry may be speaking alone, so it does not has that it has to be spoken in front of people. Maybe speaking alone, thinking aloud to himself, talking to himself, and it is mostly all the feelings when you sit in front of a mirror, or you're talking to God, or you're praying. Also, can be written in lyrical poetry. And there are few examples given here. I heard a fly buzz, etc., etc. I'm so sorry for the hearing. So, all these things, John Donne's story is written here. So, this is how, just a minute, let me share it again. Yeah, so this is how all these poetries are actually given form by the narrator talking to himself about his own experiences. I mean, the poet talking about his own feelings and emotions. So, this is known as a lyrical poetry. So, the narrator himself writes the lyrics and nobody else is writing for anyone. So, you to do your self work, your self homework is known as lyrical poetry in short. I hope you all understood the topic. It was a very short and sweet topic, and there were only four types of lyrical poetry that I have shown you all. I hope you all understood it, and there will be questions asked on all these topics. So please be prepared and do the theory of poetry. I've taken so many topics of theory of poetry. Do not miss it. Thank you so much, everyone.